news report from Weathersphere Explorers. Harris defends policy changes as presidential campaign heats up. Hello, and welcome to Weathersphere Explorers, where we bring you the latest on the political climate that's making headlines. In her first interview since entering the presidential race, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris addressed questions about her shifting stances on key issues like immigration and climate policy. Harris, who sat down with CNN's Dana Bash, reaffirmed her core values despite adopting more moderate positions. The conversation also covered topics ranging from economic concerns to the conflict in Gaza, and Harris's vision for a potential presidency. Meanwhile, her Republican challenger, Donald Trump, was quick to criticize, dismissing the interview as boring and calling Harris a fraud. Let's dive into the key takeaways from this political storm. In her first interview since announcing her presidential candidacy, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris defended her policy shifts on key issues. The Democratic nominee, questioned on her more moderate stances on immigration and climate since her 2019 presidential run, emphasized that her values remain unchanged. Speaking to CNN's Dana Bash, she stressed that her commitment to climate change action and other core principles has been consistent. Harris, alongside her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, expressed a desire to turn the page on the divisive rhetoric of the Trump era. Donald Trump dismissed the interview as boring on Truth Social and labeled Harris a fraud. Harris also defended the Biden administration's economic policies, acknowledging continued challenges like inflation while emphasizing ongoing efforts to address them. Regarding her evolving stance on fracking and border security, Harris argued that her values are constant despite her more moderate policy positions. She expressed confidence in meeting U.S. climate targets without banning fracking and highlighted her work against transnational criminal organizations during her tenure as California Attorney General. On immigration, she underscored her commitment to building consensus and proposed including a Republican in her presidential cabinet. When asked about the war in Gaza, Harris reiterated the White House's stance on the need for a peace deal that secures the release of hostages and upholds the Palestinians' right to their own state. She declined to endorse an arms embargo on Israel, despite pressure from her party's left wing. Harris dismissed recent comments by Trump that she assumed a black identity for political gain, calling them part of the same old, tired playbook. Governor Walz, during the same interview, addressed misleading claims about his military service and his wife's fertility treatments, attributing them to passionate expressions on sensitive subjects. The interview revealed Harris's intent to appeal to a broad base of voters, while facing criticism from both sides of the political spectrum for her policy shifts and positions on contentious issues. Harris also shared personal moments, recalling when President Biden informed her of his decision not to seek re-election and praised his capabilities compared to Trump's.
Recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it.
As I spoke about our infertility issues, because it's hell, and families know this. And I spoke about the treatments that were available to us that had those beautiful children there. I think people know who I am. They know that record. They've seen that. I've taught thousands of students. I've been out there. And I won't apologize for speaking passionately, whether it's guns in schools or protecting of reproductive rights.
The phone rang and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yes."
How should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here, in your policy? Should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
The most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.